Hi, welcome back to Binkerbelle's Yarning. Today is Wednesday, so it's a We Learn Wednesday. But before we get to that, I need to make some clarifications for our tutorial Tuesdays. This is why I usually tape in the morning, because yesterday is a perfect example of what happens when I tape in the afternoon. My brain just kind of goes to mush and I forget stuff. So for tutorial Tuesdays, we're doing a total of 18 blocks. Okay, so that's 6 blocks from each discipline. And so it will be a total of 6 wide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 high. You can do all knit. If you do all knit blocks, you will have to do a total of 9 of each. Okay? If you do all Tunisian blocks, you will have to do a total of 9 of each of the blocks. If you do all crochet, you have to do a total of 9 of the blocks. Now for the border, we're going to be doing mini blocks. So there'll be 12 knit mini blocks and 12 Tunisian mini blocks, and then we will have a crochet border around the outside. So if you're doing all crochet, then you will have to repeat the border base 4 times before you put the finish on it. If you're doing all knit, you have to do 24 of the same mini blocks. If you do all Tunisian, you'll have to do 24 of the Tunisian mini blocks. So all total, the larger blocks are going to be a total of 54. So for all the Tunisian, you're going to be using number 7mm hook, just because of the type of yarn that we're using, which is a number 4 worsted, sorry, not a number 4, a 4 weight worsted yarn. It gives a nice open, loose finished product, so you don't have a lot of curling in it. Because a lot of these blocks are yarn eaters, I'm going to set the total yardage at 2,000. We're going to come pretty darn close to that. If you're a tight tension, then you're going to use less. If you're a loose tension, you're probably going to use more. I'm kind of in a little bit more towards the loose tension, so 2,000 yards is going to be enough for me. I in particular am using the Caron Pantone series. So it is a bamboo acrylic blend. Super soft, super beautiful. Now the reason I'm using this is because it's got a beautiful colorway that I really like, and it is on clearance. So I'm paying $4 for one of these as opposed to 10. So it is a 4 weight or worsted weight yarn. This particular one is a little on the smaller side of a 4 weight. I don't know if you can see that very well, but any 4 weight will work just fine. And you can do it all monotone, you can do it 2 colors, you can do it 3 colors. It really doesn't matter the color combination that you choose, provided you do the required number of blocks. So that being said, for this particular giveaway, you do have to have a complete project. So you have to have a total of 54 blocks for the larger part of the blanket. You have to have a total of 24 mini blocks or a 4 repeat of the crochet border base. Once all of the 18 blocks are done and we have put it all together and we have the border on, send me an email with a picture of your item, of your finished project, and one from each category will be chosen. So the categories are all knit, all crochet, all Tunisian, and a combination. So a combination, if you do all 3 disciplines, or if you do 2 of the disciplines, that counts as a combination. So what I'm looking for is color use, consistency with the instructions, technique. You know, I'm looking for what looks best. Now, I'm not the only one that will be taking a look at these photos, and it will be blind, so when I'm actually looking at the photos, I'm not going to necessarily know who it is, because I will assign a number to each one as they come in. And then, because I'm like crazy organized with stuff like that, I will announce the winners within a week of I'll give you a week to email me after I announce the end of the crochet along, and I will do up a video for who won, and there will be a prize for each of those. Right now they're surprised because this is a mystery cow. So I hope that clears everything up for Tutorial Tuesday. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or post in the comments below. And I will review the yarn weight and the hooks and the needles in each of the Tutorial Tuesdays. So moving on from Tutorial Tuesday to We Learn Wednesday. Today I'm going to be talking to you about traveling with your whips and chains. So whip is a work in progress, and a chain obviously is the chain stitch. I just really like calling them whips and chains because it's fun. Not just traveling long distances like via plane or train, but also traveling in your day-to-day stuff. So if you take the bus, if you take carpool, if you take the subway on a day-to-day basis, if you're going on a little road trip, some pointers for carrying your projects with you. So we're going to start with flying because that's usually the biggest question. There's so many people who pop on to knit and crochet groups in Facebook asking, can I fly, can I fly, can I fly? So the answer is yes. For most major airlines. So in the United States and in Canada, it is perfectly okay for you to take knitting needles, crochet hooks on planes for domestic flights, so within your country. And so if you're flying in the US or if you're flying in Canada, no problem. If you're flying from Canada to the US, no problem. Vice versa. If you're flying over to Australia or the UK, the rules are a little bit different, and I would definitely suggest before you pack or before you leave, or as you're thinking about what projects to take with you, make sure you check with the airline itself. On their websites, they will list whether or not you can take stuff with you, just to be absolutely positive. That being said, each of the safety officers, so the people that check your carry-ons and send you through the x-ray and through the metal detectors, is at the discretion of their own interpretation of the rules. So even though the airline says it's okay for you to take something, bring a padded, self-addressed, stamped envelope with you, just in case you have to mail your stuff back to yourself, or be sure that you can add it to your carry-on luggage, just to be on the safe side. So for flying in Canada and the US, knitting needles and crochet hooks are allowed on the planes in your carry-on luggage. However, they do suggest that you use wood or plastic versus metal. And if you're taking scissors with you, then the scissors have to have a blade that is shorter than 4 inches, or bring nail clippers, as they work just as well. You cannot bring bladed objects with you, so you can't bring box cutters, pocket knives, or those little, the circular blade pendants. You can't bring those either on the plane itself. So if you have those, if you like using those, put them in your carry-on. Put them in your check luggage as opposed to on your carry-ons. So also with knitting needles, you want to make sure that you check with them, make sure that straight needles are okay. Otherwise, if you're unsure or you want to be on the safe side, bring circular needles, because circular needles will get through easier than straight needles. And again, like I said, bring a padded self-addressed envelope in case you have to mail your work in progress back to yourself. In Australia, knitting needles and crochet hooks are permitted, as well as round-ended scissors shorter than 6 centimeters or 2.5 inches. So 2.5 inches, like those are the little tiny sewing scissors, and they have to be blunt edged. So for that particular thing, I would definitely suggest bringing nail clippers instead, or bringing a project that you're not going to have to cut any of the yarn on. For the UK, the rules say that knitting needles and crochet hooks and short scissors are permitted, but each airport and airline that flies out of the UK is different. So again, check with the guidelines always. So the best way to travel with your works in progress, regardless of if you're flying or traveling by car or by train, is to bring smaller projects. So don't bring your king-size Afghan with you. there's just not enough room. It's not even really polite to bring such a large project because you're taking over space. You know, the people next to you, I mean, if you're flying with a friend and they don't mind, that's a totally different story. But it's easier to work on smaller projects, and mindless projects are a really good idea too, because then you can sit and watch the movie in flight or on the traveling bus. And also, you want to bring something that doesn't require a lot of changes in your color scheme. That way you can avoid bringing cutting tools with you. Again, try to pack wood or plastic instead of metal. They do come across as less threatening, so that you have a lesser chance of it being confiscated during traveling. Another great alternative for a cutting tool is dental floss. So the little dental floss containers have a little blade on them, and dental floss is perfectly okay to take in your carry-on. It's actually considered an essential item in a woman's purse. So by all means, toss a thing of dental floss in there, and you can use the little cutting tool to cut your yarn with. So that's guidelines for traveling with your works in progress. Always pack your bigger projects in your checked package or in your suitcases. It just makes life a lot easier. So let's take a look at different ways to carry your work in progress with you. So a lot of people use reusable bags, so the ones that you get at the grocery store. They're fantastic. You can use duffel bags for your large projects. You can use oversized purses for your smaller projects. But when you're traveling, you want to keep it compact. All right, you want to keep everything together in one spot. Women are allowed one carry-on plus their purse. Men are allowed one carry-on plus a briefcase. So you can actually use your work in progress or your project bag as your carry-on item or as your briefcase or purse. If you use it as a purse, it's great because you just toss your wallet, your keys in there, and then you can check the rest of the stuff. So creativity when it comes to traveling with your works in progress. So a really great idea is to have a project bag that has a zipper on it. That way everything stays contained, and it doesn't fall over if you drop it, that kind of stuff. Or a flap with a button or a clasp. That way just everything stays inside. And it also doesn't get incidentally spilt on or rained on, that kind of stuff. So, be creative. I found these at the Home Depot, and it is a tool bag, right? The nice thing about this is it actually will stand on its own, right? So you can set that down on the floor or on your lap, and you don't need to worry about it going anywhere. I also found these. So these are actually little tool belt clips, all right? It just clips on over your belt, just like that. Okay, and it's got cool little pockets to put everything in. So I put some wooden crochet hooks in here. I'm missing the number 5 because I didn't pay attention when I was picking up the hooks. And I picked up 4.5s instead of 5s. So that's what you get when you shop at Walmart. Nobody actually puts things back the way they're supposed to be. And these scissors here, right, they are less than 4 inches in the blade. And I found these actually at the dollar store. So that's fantastic. So for giveaway, as I said in the tagline, I have 2. So 2 of you will be receiving this awesome little tool bag, fully loaded one of these when I get the 5mm hook, obviously. You'll also be getting some of these guys. Whoop, throw them all over the place. They're plastic yarn needles, right? Perfectly okay to travel with. So there will be those. And you will also get this guy here. So I found this in the beading section at Michael's. Right? It's just a really cute little box. It's a great place for you to put small notions like stitch markers or buttons or that kind of stuff. So it's nice and compact. It stays where you put it. It unfortunately doesn't fit in here. It's just a little too smushy, but it's great to just toss in your purse or in your project bag. So 2 of these are up. contest rules, as usual, I can ship to Canada and the continental United States. You must be subscribed to my channel, like my video. I'd appreciate it if you could share it across your social media, but that's obviously not necessary, but it would be greatly appreciated. The more viewers we have, the more giveaways I can give. It's pretty simple. So you have to comment, you have to like, you have to subscribe, and I'd appreciate a share. Now, I don't have a question this time for this giveaway, so you don't have to answer it correctly. So as usual, questions, comments, please leave them there. Don't forget about my links to my YouTube channel, my Facebook page, my Twitter. Definitely follow me on Twitter, because once we get rolling on there, I'm gonna have exclusive to Twitter giveaways, or exclusive to Twitter clues for giveaways, right? Little surprises, that kind of stuff. So definitely follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Alright, so tomorrow is Thursday, which is Nifty Things Thursday, and I have a stack for you. And as I had said on Monday, all Nifty Things Thursdays are giveaway days, so you have 1 week to comment on the Nifty Things Thursday video, and I will pick a winner of the previous on the next. Alright, so that's all for today. I'll see you later.